Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into one of the absolute most fundamental and, frankly, miraculous processes in the known universe. I'm talking about human reproduction. Without it, well, the human story would literally just end right here. It's this beautifully orchestrated, completely natural biological process that produces new individuals. And honestly, it's so commonplace that we kind of take it for granted, right? But when you actually break down the biology of how life begins, it's nothing short of a masterclass in biological engineering. It all boils down to this really fascinating mystery. How exactly do two completely microscopic cells transform into a whole, fully functioning human being? I mean, it's a question that has captivated scientists and philosophers for centuries. That journey from a single tiny point of fusion to a living, breathing person is just insanely complex. Okay, let's dive into this biological journey, starting right at the anatomical foundations. Part 1. The Human Reproductive Systems. To really grasp how a new life begins, we've got to look at the specialized structures that make it all happen. So the male reproductive system has one primary job: producing male reproductive cells, which we call sperm, inside the testes, and then delivering them through these specialized transport structures. On the flip side, the female reproductive system is totally distinct. It produces eggs inside the ovaries, but it does way more than just produce cells. It includes the fallopian tubes, the vagina, and, absolutely critically, the uterus. The uterus is this highly specialized, incredibly resilient organ that's just perfectly designed to safely house, nourish, and grow a developing baby. These two distinct systems, they are literally biologically engineered to complement each other with one ultimate goal: creating life. Part 2, sperm, eggs, and fertilization. All right, so let's zoom in and meet the microscopic characters of our story. Sperm are these incredibly tiny, highly mobile cells produced in the male's testes. They're essentially built for one single epic journey. Eggs, on the other hand, which are produced in the female's ovaries, are vastly different. Actually, the human egg is one of the largest cells in the entire human body, whereas the sperm is actually one of the smallest. The egg has to be massive because it comes packed with all the cellular machinery and nutrients needed to kickstart a brand new life. Now, what's really interesting about this is that despite this huge difference in size and structure, they're equally important. They both carry essential genetic blueprints. Half of the code comes from the sperm, half from the egg, meaning together they hold the absolute foundation for a completely new human being. So when these two highly specialized cells successfully find each other, we get this incredible, transformative biological event known as fertilization. And listen, this isn't just a simple meeting. This is the exact microscopic moment when one single successful sperm cell breaches the protective outer layer of an egg cell and joins with it. Think about it. Out of literally millions of sperm, just one makes this vital connection, sparking the creation of life in a mere fraction of a second. It's wild. And that joining, it creates something entirely new, a single cell that we call a zygote. So the crucial point is that this one microscopic zygote now holds the combined genetic information from both parents. All 46 chromosomes lock into place. It contains the complete, totally unique set of instructions, everything from potential hair color to eye color to height, all packed into a single microscopic dot. And immediately, without skipping a beat, it gets right to the immense biological work of dividing. This cell division happens in a rapid, almost explosive sequence. Right after fertilization forms that single-celled zygote, the cell splits into 2, then 4, then 8, just multiplying over and over again in a massive geometric growth spurt. Within a matter of days, this rapidly dividing cluster of cells transforms into an early organism called an embryo. Then, this early embryo travels down to safely implant itself inside the lining of the uterus. And that's exactly where it begins the incredibly complex task of differentiating its cells to develop distinct tissues and vital organs. Part 3, pregnancy and fetal development. Okay, so once that developing baby is settled securely inside the uterus, it obviously needs immense sustenance to survive and grow. I mean, it can't eat, drink, or breathe on its own yet, right? Instead, it receives vital oxygen and nutrients directly from the mother through an absolute marvel of biology, the placenta and the umbilical cord. You can kind of think of the placenta as a highly advanced all-in-one filtration system. It functions as the baby's lungs, kidneys, and digestive system all rolled into one. It seamlessly sustains the baby around the clock, which allows the baby to dedicate literally all of its energy strictly to growing. And this development follows a truly remarkable timeline. In the early stages, the embryo is just beginning to map out its basic foundational tissues. But as the weeks turn into months, this tiny organism scales up dramatically, Complex systems start to come online. We're talking the beating heart, the intricate folding patterns of the brain, the expanding lungs, the hardening of the bones, all of it gradually maturing in a very highly specific sequence. It takes about 9 full months of constant, astonishing biological engineering until the baby's vital systems are sufficiently developed for the outside world. Now, because this multi-month process is so incredibly demanding on the body, ongoing observation is absolutely vital. Regular medical care during pregnancy helps healthcare professionals monitor all those crucial growth milestones. This ensures that the mother remains healthy and it makes sure the baby's delicate development stays safely on track, checking every heartbeat and every measurement along the entire way. Part 4. Childbirth and continued growth. So after approximately 9 months of intense preparation, when the baby's vital systems are finally ready to operate completely independently, childbirth takes place. The baby leaves that highly protective environment of the uterus and undergoes a massive physiological shift, taking its very first breath of air and beginning life entirely outside the mother's body. But of course, the biological journey doesn't stop there. Far from it. From birth onward, that baby is going to continue to grow, to learn, and to heavily adapt to its environment in the outside world for decades to come. When we look back at this incredible timeline, the sheer scale of the journey is just deeply awe-inspiring. It all starts with the male and female systems providing specialized reproductive cells. Then, fertilization sparks a completely unique single-celled zygote. That zygote divides rapidly into an embryo and later a fetus, sustained safely for months by the temporary life support of the placenta, ultimately culminating in childbirth. And this brilliantly illustrates our shared biological origin story. Every single one of us alive today went through this exact same miraculous process. To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with one final thought. How does understanding our fundamental biology help us respect our health, hygiene, and the natural processes of human life? You know, when we can clearly visualize the incredible complexity of how we all began, literally going from microscopic cells to fully formed humans, it gives us such a profound, enduring respect for the sheer capabilities of the human body. Keep learning, keep exploring, and thank you so much for joining me to unpack the wondrous science of human biology.